Hello, Virgo. Welcome back. And thank you for joining me for your April 2020 ASMR tarot reading. For this month's reading, I will be using the Marigold Tarot deck, and then to clarify, I will be using the White Witch Tarot. I've drawn correspondences, planetary and astrological correspondences on the different cards. So those are correspondences from the Brotherhood of Light Tarot deck. All right, Virgo. It's been a big month, huh? Let's see what is in store for you for the month of April 2020. Let's see, what will be happening for you in April of 2020? My campfire candle, but it's burning kind of low. There's not very much left. I'll have to get a new one. I'll pull some of these free floating negative energies and attachments off of you, Virgo. All right. What are we looking at here? We've got the Queen of Wands and it's in reverse. Queen of Wands is somebody who's confident, who's putting themselves out there in a big way. So it could be that you're kind of withdrawn right now emotionally from people and maybe not being your best confident self. But let's see. We have the Justice card as well. So this could also be someone who is a fire sign that is in your life, and either you're at odds with them right now, or maybe they're far away. And because it's crossed with the Justice card, maybe soon things will be rectified in that situation. Things will all be getting cleared up, and anything that you've been in conflict with this person about is going to be cleared out of your headspace. Both of you will be freed from that. Let's look at the past. In the past, we have the Star. So this is Aquarius energy. It's an air sign card. And it's all about putting yourself out there in the best way possible. So to me, then, for some of you, it looks to me like then maybe this is more related to having put yourself out there a lot in the past. And maybe in the current time, not doing that as much, and less to do with like a fire sign. But again, it's a general reading. It's going to be different for a lot of you. So the current state, we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is a card about regimented morality and rules, religious rules. Morality for morality's sake, rather than from an interest in the people around you. And maybe that is what has you feeling kind of less like putting yourself out there in a big way right now. Is this kind of like, they're not like imaginary rules, but they're the kind of rules that maybe you can't explain clearly to other people, and they're rules based in opinion and not in fact. And what for the future? We do have this Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about leaving something behind. It could be something that's a project you worked very hard on even, and you just put it down and let it go. It could be a job situation that you're leaving, and this could be happening by the end of April because this card is appearing in the upright position. So this might have to do with a job situation, something where when you were first hired maybe, or earlier in your time at this job, you really applied yourself and you rose to a position of power. Maybe you made manager, and now because you're constrained by that role, you haven't been able to put yourself out there the same way that you'd very much like to. And so justice would be for you to end up leaving that position. But again, that's only going to be for some of you. It's not going to be across the board. This is a general reading for the sign of Virgo. And it's Virgo, sun, moon, and rising as well, which somewhat applies to me as I am a Virgo rising. And let's I'm going to come over here first. This card is your position in the world around you. We have this card, the Page of Swords, and it's reversed. And the Page of Swords, and especially in the reverse, is about not being able to communicate well with others and not being able to express your ideas clearly. So that definitely speaks to this Queen of Wands reversed energy being something that you're experiencing in your interpersonal relationships. And of course, we're looking at, air sign energy again here between the Star and the Page of Swords. So while you were able to express your ideas very clearly and well in the past, now you've come into a place where maybe you're not feeling that way. And this card has to do with the world mirroring your behaviors and your actions back at you. And that card is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So I think that while you perceive these things as communication issues, your environment is reflecting back at you that you are letting your emotions control the situation, which may or may not be the case. Sword energy is very analytical. And the cups, of course, then are about emotion. And just because you take something very seriously doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting your emotions tied up in it. Just because you have a strong opinion about how things should be done doesn't mean that you're letting your emotions get the better of you. But it's hard to convey that in political, professional situations sometimes. This card is about your hopes and fears. And we have the Three of Swords, because nobody enjoys conflict. No one likes to break up. No one likes to be in a fight with somebody. So yeah, definitely Three of Swords. I feel that. Let's come back over here to your goal or destiny from this reading. We have the Judgment card here, and in this deck, which I did choose because it has very macabre themes, and I thought that it would be appropriate for this particular period of time. This card, you can see that one skeleton is pushing this other skeleton down, this skeleton that has 2 arrows already through it. So definitely we've got justice on the table and we have judgment on the table, which means that whatever ends up coming to pass, this 8 of Cups, you leaving is the right thing to do, is the best course of action for everyone involved. Let's look at the final outcome. The World. That is incredible, Virgo. That is a really good card to have here. That means that justice will be served in your favor, and that this judgment will be for your betterment. So I'm going to pull these cards and put them together, Judgment and Justice, because I think in this reading, not that they're synonymous, but that they are very similar. I want to look further at the Hierophant. And let's find out more about this Eight of Cups. Because that Eight of Cups could mean you leaving a job, leaving somewhere, moving. It could be a lot of things. And I think for a lot of people, it's going to be something different. But it's pretty clear as far as like the meaning of the card, but I'd like to find out more about that situation. All right. Gee, whatever this situation was, on the one hand, it seems like you've been treated very unfairly. But on the other hand, it seems like it was just like how the business is run. So it's like not personal, but you've definitely been wronged, if that makes any sense. I think I mentioned before that I'm the person who drew the Brotherhood of Light planetary and astrological correspondences on these cards. So those are something that I added. And this deck is only the major arcana. It's not the major and minor arcana. Right, Virgo. Let's clarify some of these situations. Some of this. Hierophant could be like having a sense of what's right in the face of a corporate job where people sometimes lose sight of that. It can be very difficult when you have a corporate job and not everybody in the organization is on board with the rules and regulations. So, yeah, this feels right. I think these get cut off a little bit here at the bottom. Let's move it up. Yeah, so we've got the Hierophant coming out again. I get the sense now that you have a very clear idea of what you consider to be right and the good thing to do in the workplace, and that for whatever reason you were told that wasn't good. So, or maybe you were told by one person that it was good, and maybe you were told by someone else that they would prefer that you not say those things, because that's how jobs work. All right, let's see what else. The Star. Yeah, so this is something you're very good at. This is a career in which you expected to grow and thrive. And Wheel of Fortune. So, all right, so these two things together. Maybe it's not even that this career path is the one in which you are expecting to grow and thrive, but that, whatever it is, Wheel of Fortune being whatever situation you're about to come into, because of justice being served, is going to be a good one for you. You're going to be just fine in this new position. So if you're worried about leaving, don't be worried about leaving. Well, we'll find out, right? 8 of Cups. Yeah, the Tower. So this is going to be a big change for you. We have the moon. I think things are going to be a little bit unclear right now, especially because of how everything is going in the overall work environment for a lot of people right now. The job market is totally in flux because of everything that is going on with quarantine and COVID-19. So I do see by the end of April, it looks like this is going to be resolved. But I think that things are going to be unclear for a little bit. Or maybe it's unclear what you'll be doing next. And temperance. So just maintain a balanced composure about everything. You are a Virgo, so that shouldn't be difficult. And let's look at this justice or judgment situation. And we have the sun coming out. That's a really good card. That means that justice will be in your favor for sure on this. And we have the Chariot, which is a card of victory. So you'll be victorious. And then the Hanged Man. And I think because we've got the moon and the Hanged Man coming out in our clarifiers, right? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just speaks to, in April, there's going to be a little bit of uncertainty and you're going to feel kind of up in the air about it. And it should be settled by the end of the month. I say should, because this is a general reading. It's going to be different for everybody. But overall, your justice is coming, very much so. We've got justice coming out, we've got judgment coming out, and the Hierophant coming out twice. You are in the right here. Like, whatever it was that you were advocating for in that position, you absolutely were in the right to speak up about it. So, and the fact that the star came out in the past position and then came out again, I think, you really had a lot of promise at that job, whatever it was. Virgo, I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope that you're well. I hope that everything's going all right for you. It looks like you will have a good April, and I hope that you'll join me again for the May readings. Thank you so much.